I'm Mac, CEO of National Streaming Sports and host of the Mac and Jack Sports Show. You're watching the Sharp-Dressed Man and the Big Story Breaker, Robert Butler, on SportsScope, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on National Streaming Sports. Thanks.
All right, everybody. This is part one of today's program. Today is the 7th of May. I hope you got your real ID done. You can't fly not unless you have that done, that or a passport. But anyways, today is May 7th, and there's only going to be about 20 minutes of this part of the recorded program. I decided to go ahead and record this because I went 40 minutes with Jeffrey Deskovic on Monday. We get in a little bit of our predictions of round 2 of the playoffs. We talk about that. Very good insight, good storytelling. So stay tuned for that. That'll come directly after this. Okay. So I want to give everybody a heads up. This is only going to be about 20 minutes. So I'm going to have to go pretty fast. As you heard that intro, on a more somber moment note here, that was, as you heard, the National Streaming Sports founder, John McGraw, better known as Mac. And unfortunately, Mac had passed away this past weekend. For those of you who've been watching, following the Mac and Jack Sports Show through the National Streaming Sports Network, whether it be on Roku TV, Facebook, or whatnot, Mac has been absent there for quite some time. And he's I don't know what type of cancer Mac has had, but he's passed away. And I've known Mac for about 5 years. And he had a dream of getting a national sports talk show that envisioned a podcast live stream. And then he envisioned a podcast, a live stream talk show, kind of like myself here, and I met Linda online, his wife, widow there now, online, and she reached out to me and wanted to add me to their platform, and I ended up doing a show with him and Jack for a few years. And I want to say about 3 years. I used to do the Mac and Jack Big Sports Show, 30 minutes on, and I thought Mac was just a really hardworking guy. Him and Linda both driven. They had this. It used to be called the Northeast Streaming Sports. Then it spread it out, and you got a guy like me. I'm in the South here in Nashville, and you got guys all over the country here. That's part of their program now, and it's really blossomed into something because he's a very hardworking guy. They got big names that I could only dream of imagining them having on their program. Phil Simms, we met Jim Jeffcoat through him. I met Keith Engel through Mac, who helped me get this background set up, showed me how to go about doing that with getting a green screen. This StreamYard was recommended by Mac, so I owe a lot of my success to Mac and Linda for that matter there. Met Sonia Pearson through them as well. Jamie, the Philly sports guy who's getting well known. Jamie was on a show with Skip Bayless the other day, so he's really coming up. And I kind of went off my notes a little bit, but anyways, back to my notes here. It's just one more death to a person in their prime from cancer. And, I wrote down some notes here. And for those of you who follow my program, I've mentioned people like Bernie McGurk, who worked with Don Imus years ago. He was a sidekick. Then he had a show, Bernie and Sid, really big in New York City. Listen to the podcast. Very funny. They finally get their show going. He's like 60, 61, but the guy's in great shape physically, thin, quick on his feet, funny guy, and gets cut down. He gets prostate cancer, and they think he's going to recover, and he doesn't. He died a few years ago. A few years before that, I want to say in 2020, I think he died in 23, back to 21, February of 21. Legendary guy, whether you like his politics or not. Very funny, controversial personality. Rush Limbaugh died of lung cancer in 2021. Man, I mean, just guys that are working every day, wanting to live. Mac wanted to live, you know. I was just driving a guy the other day from Australia. He was doing Uber, and this guy was here in Nashville area. He wanted to see the Country Music Hall of Fame. He says, he said that the treatment for cancer is killing me more than the cancer. He said, I know it's eventually going to catch up with me. So basically that was like, this was one of his, what do you call it? Things to do before you die. Bucket list events going to Nashville, Music City. So between those guys and then just, I don't know. I got to thinking about all this over the past few days when I first heard it from Sonia, my friend there, calling me on Saturday. And I think about these billionaires, your Jeff Bezos sending a bunch of celebrities up to space, and Elon Musk going to space to help the astronauts out. And I know that's kind of a controversial name, but, he's a smart guy. Elon wanting to, talk about saving humanity and all this stuff. And we got an ambitious president here in America. And I'm thinking, this is the second leading cause of death in the world. Same thing in the United States. 10 million people a year die of cancer. 10 million people die of cancer. And second only to cardiovascular heart disease. So, that's way more. I think it's like 9 million, something more than the COVID virus. So I do believe that these tycoons, these global elites, your Richard Bransons of the world, also a billionaire, and should get with these governments, not just here in the United States, but around the world. Dan Dave Harris, I met online. Let's Talk Sports. I've talked about him. He had cancer, died. Don't let me forget about my man Dan out of the UK. Add him to that list. But I just think that they should get some kind of cancer research committee together and put the kind of stress and expedient and importance on this. Put that space stuff to the side. I don't have any issue with that, but just put all that to the side and say, let's do something about this. There's too many good men and women around the world being cut down in their pride. And trust me, I'm a spiritual person. I understand we're all going to die at some point. If that doesn't kill us, maybe old age would, but I'd just like to see not cancer, anything but cancer. And I'm glad we've got the research done and we've preserved guys like Magic Johnson with the HIV virus and whatnot. But just get all these elites together with the governments, with the best minds on the planet in the medical research field, and let's get this thing done. Let's stop this cancer. I'm more mad than I am sad. Of course, I'm very sad, John. I wanted to see the network blow up, but not getting on the soapbox about it. But I'm just so frustrated with it. Guys like Stuart Scott with ESPN, one of my favorites, one of my heroes in the sports talk industry, died of cancer taking him out. So, but anyways, get some kind of committee together, and give an annual update of where we are, what we need to do to make that next step to end this disease and get the care for it. Okay. I knew I would end up going longer on that than I expected, but it is what it is. Thoughts and prayers with the family there at the National Streaming Network, Yesenia Pearson, Jamie Pax, Keith Engel, and obviously Linda, the widow, Linda McGrath, a good friend as well. Shout out to you. with you and the family. Just on some sports stuff here. Quick take, Steph Curry, by the way, switching gears. I know that's kind of I'm in a short, I'm a little bit on I'm on a short timeline here. Curry's got a hamstring strain. By the way, he's 37 years old. Steph Curry is. At minimum, he's going to be out a week. This is why I picked Minnesota, and you'll see that more coming up in part 2 of this program with Jeffrey Deskovic. 7-game series there, had to win. Gut-wrenching 7 games with a physical young Houston team, then go on the road and play another young, hungry team with a little bit more experience. I don't think that they're going to survive this thing, although they did. Minnesota, God, what are you thinking? Showed your lack of focus there, having 5 days off there, beating the Lakers in 5, looked a lot like the Dallas series going for them. But my point is 35-year-old Jimmy Butler, 35-year-old Draymond Green, and 37, Steph's playing really well at 37, but now he's injured. That's your core. I do think that Minnesota will come back and win that game in 6 per se. Quick take here. Knicks, Boston. I do think that the Knicks, they have a tendency, not Knicks, the Celtics. We've known this about the Celtics. They have a tendency to just keep shooting that 3. And it's one of the most threes missed in one playoff game history, or some crazy stat like that. And let's just shoot our way back in. Let's shoot our way back. And of course, 20 points down, the gritty Knicks team comes back and wins. I still think the Celtics will probably win this game, win this series, probably in 6, maybe 5, but probably 6. I think they'll still win it. But still, kudos for the Knicks capitalizing on it, because remember, they were 0-4 and getting demolished in the regular season. I'm just going no particular order. Let's see. Let's go over to the Cavs. I think the listen, the Pacers have been an overlooked team. We thought they got a little lucky last year, got the right draw. But the truth of the matter is they've got a very good coach there in Rick Carlisle, but also a good combination of youth, your Halliburtons of the world, mixed in with the Pascal Siakams of veteran players, won a championship. Remember that Siakam won a championship with Toronto, Dallas Turner, was it TJ McConnell? Those are veteran players mixed in with your Halliburtons of the world there, and Nimrod's his last name. And the Cavs got a little complacent. Darius Garland injury really hurting them. The Pacers are setting the pace, pun intended, right? The Pacers are setting the pace in this series. They got to change that, and they're down 0-2 now, this Cavs team that looked like world beaters to start the regular season. And now Devin Mitchell, 47 points, got a little banged up there at the end. Like I said, he can't lead the team. You cannot depend on him. And Darius Garland, wow, this is going to look good come contract time. I think they're definitely in trouble. Now 0-2 at home. Maybe they come back and win 2 straight on the road. Still say this team is setting the tempo. I think the Cavs definitely need to slow this thing down and play at their tempo. They have the bigger team here. They need to play at their tempo to have any kind of chance of winning this game. I don't know. It may be too late. Okay. Denver. I reluctantly picked, and you'll see that coming up in the next half of this program. I reluctantly picked OKC to win this series. I figured Denver, grueling 7-game series there with the LA Clippers, doing what the Clippers do. Kawhi gets a little banged up with that knee, and Harden ends up being Harden and not playing very well in Game 7. But I thought this hungry team at home, playing a team coming off that 7-game series, a little sluggish at games, has a tendency to blow games late, gets off to rough starts. But, Westbrook has brought that ignition. He's brought that ignition. He's that spark plug that back in October I said he would be but I also said he could be a double-edged sword if you play him. If you play him at the wrong time, it seemed like he's showing some more self-awareness, some maturity, and he's playing his part without overdoing it and costing them games, just like he cost them the Minnesota game going back a few weeks here. I still think they might win. The Thunder may win, but the fact that the Thunder kind of choked that game away, that's the youth getting the best of them. They're not quite there. They might be that Celtics team of a few years ago. Just wasn't quite. Remember the Celtics team that couldn't quite beat the LeBron Cavs? This may be that Thunder team. With Sam Presti, by the way, winning executive of the year. A few more minutes left here. George Pickens traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, this looks bad for Pittsburgh. I mean, how many players are they going to pick that's immature here? Does Chase Claypool ring a bell? Nobody wants to deal with Chase Claypool. All the talent in the world cannot put it together. Very immature. Same with Deontay Johnson. He bounced around the league like nobody's business, like a little ping pong ball. And, of course, AB, we know he's a mega talent, kind of went a little wild there at the end. But it's a kind of a pattern there. Pickens seemed to be rumors of him being that other immature. How many immature receivers can the Pittsburgh Steelers draft here? I mean, but they get a third-round pick here, I want to say, in return. Steelers, this is from Josina Anderson. The Steelers get a 2026 third-round pick, swapping 2027 fifth-round pick and a 2027 sixth-round pick. That may be a very good play there. What is, if he even signs, and Aaron Rodgers going to do? This team has Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Skylar Thompson on their quarterback depth chart. This may be a punt season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got Robert Woods there, which I'm not in love with. He's a little long in the tooth. Calvin Austin as a potential number 2 in air quotes. This is going to be the DK Metcalf and the Pat Firebooth show for whoever's quarterback. If it's even Aaron Rodgers, why isn't Rodgers signed with the Steelers? I really don't get that. As far as the Dallas end of that, you put if Pickens, I think the change of scenery would help Pickens. I don't see him as being the problem of those other players, but I don't know that yet. We'll find out. But pairing him opposite of a CeeDee Lamb and a Dak Prescott, that's big for the Cowboys. If they can keep some blocking up front and that first-round pick actually play up the par that they pick, and he can fill in rightfully for Zach Martin, although I've been hearing that he's kind of a bust. Or he may be overdrafted. I don't know if he may be a bust or not, but we'll see. But anyways, it looks like Dallas got the better end of that now, but we shall see. We shall see. Maybe he causes problems. Maybe he gets injured, and the Steelers end up getting a good third-round pick, and maybe one of these young players blossom under him. Maybe they do sign Aaron Rodgers. But then again, maybe they don't. Maybe they win 6 wins and just try to start over next year at quarterback. They really need to start over a coach and everything, but that's a whole different show in its own. So I got everything out in less than 20 minutes. I was going rapid fire. Again, shout out to the McGraw family. Thoughts and prayers, which I always say, with the family there in the Northeast Streaming Sports family. And I really hope that I know Sonia gets everything squared away there. I know she's a big hand in helping keeping that network up and going. So, again, I just want to give a great shout out to them. And listen, folks, as far as the program is concerned, I'll be back on hopefully tomorrow live, not unless something happens, with the Mad New Yorker. We'll discuss all these wild playoff games, and of course, we'll talk about this trade as well. So, have a good night, everybody. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully same time, same place, here on The Real Sports Scoop.